Are you a runner who's been told that you overpronate? Have you been in to get running shoes where they've asked you to get orthotics and a motion control shoe so that you don't pronate at all? If so, I'm here to tell you that might not be the best advice for you. And in fact, pronation is something you need when you run. Now that might sound different, and it might sound totally against what you've heard from maybe your running coach or running friends. But as a running specialist myself, I've analyzed thousands of runners, and I'm here to tell you that you need pronation when you run. So if this piques your interest and you want to learn more, keep watching this video. Hey runners, I'm Dr. Kevin Vandi, physical therapist and running specialist with Competitive Edge Physical Therapy. My team and I are on a mission to reduce running injuries worldwide. 80% of runners get injured every year, and we need to reduce that number. And today, what I'm going to do is provide some education around a hotly debated topic, and a topic that has a lot of misconception. And that's about, should the foot pronate when you run? And if it does, should you control it with an orthotic or with a motion-controlled shoe? Let's start here. What is foot pronation? It's a big word, but pronation means when your foot hits the ground, does your foot roll towards the arch of your foot, and does the arch of the foot collapse when your body weight moves over your foot? That is, in simple terms, what foot pronation is. It's when your arch collapses and your ankle bends inward. Now, a lot of times when you go and get fitted for a running shoe at a store, there's a video camera that they might use, an iPad or an iPhone, a treadmill. There may even be some other fancy tech where you stand and it measures your foot arch height. Those are all well and good, but usually that camera is only looking at your knees down, and it's not looking at your hips, it's not looking at your trunk, and it's not looking at you as an entire runner. It's taking a piece of your form, your lower leg, foot, and ankle, and making a determination on which shoe is best for you based on limited information. Now, in a lot of these cases, because the camera's looking at the foot, they're going to see whether your foot rolls too far in or whether it rolls too far out, and they're going to prescribe a shoe based on that. But here's the thing. When you're doing a running analysis and you're looking at form, it's easy to see when the foot pronates. And because we have an eye for wanting things to be symmetrical, we immediately think that anytime the foot rolls inward or pronates, that must be a bad thing. And there are plenty of studies to show that overpronation, having too much motion when your foot rolls inwards, when you have that, that can trigger issues like plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendinosis, calf strains, problems with your big toe, and a host of other issues. So yes, there's plenty of research to show that overpronation is bad. Now, I'm emphasizing the word over because that is the key part of this debate, is what amount of pronation, what amount of movement when your foot and ankle roll inwards, what is considered too much, and when do you have to correct it? That is the debate. The debate shouldn't be that all pronation is bad, which unfortunately is the general conception out in the world at running shoe stores, or even when you talk to other runners. The feeling is you should have no pronation. But there's a problem with that. The foot arch needs to deform, and your ankle needs to roll in some, because it's a key part of absorbing force. Every time you land as a runner, you're going to have approximately 2 times your body weight landing on your foot. Now your hip needs to bend, your knee needs to bend, your ankle needs to bend, and your foot arch needs to deform. Those are all pieces that take load from your joints, such as your knee joint, ankle joint, and lower back, and it puts it on the muscles and tendons that are designed to take that force. But what happens when you don't have pronation? When your foot arch stays static and your foot doesn't roll in at all? What happens is there's a lot of increased force on your midfoot bones, the bones in the middle of your foot. There's increased load on your Achilles tendon, the tendon that runs on the back of your ankle. And it makes it so that some other structure, such as your knee, your quad, your back, your hamstring, your calf, another tissue, bone or muscle or tendon, needs to take that force because the foot isn't doing its job to reduce the amount of loading. So that's the key part of the debate. It's not is pronation good or bad, it's how much pronation is good or bad. In our lab, we're able to use 3D motion sensors and get into the nitty-gritty in terms of angles of how much foot pronation is too much and how much is too little. And we found a break point right around 8 to 10 degrees of foot pronation tends to be the upper limit, where once you cross that amount of degrees, you're going to get into over-pronation, meaning too much or excessive pronation. And that's when we see the adjustments that gets made. Your knee might roll in, your whole femur, your whole thigh bone might roll inwards. That's when you'll see the adjustments because of the over-pronation. So about 8 to 10 degrees is that break point. Now, measuring 8 to 10 degrees in a shoe store is really hard. And unless you have an app that is able to measure angles, making a judgment call about what amount of pronation is too much or too little comes down to what your eyes can see, and frankly, they're not that good at seeing details that small. So if you see it, if you're there at a shoe store or you're looking at your own running gait and you see your foot roll in, the immediate reaction is you need an orthotic and a motion control shoe. But what I'm here to tell you is I don't think that's the best advice. And in fact, research is also on my side, is that orthotics, their job is to come in and support your foot arch or make sure the foot arch doesn't deform as much. And in some cases, orthotics are a great solution. But guess what? Your foot is designed to absorb shock. Your foot is designed to deform so the arch collapses somewhat, again, doesn't overpronate, but collapses, and then recoils as you push off your foot. That spring mechanism is built into the structure of the foot. So if you put an orthotic underneath there, now all of a sudden the foot can't do its job and it gets lazy. Your foot gets foot muscles, those muscles in between the bones of your foot and around your ankle, stop being able to be strong, stop doing the work they need to do, get weak, and over time creates a cascade of other issues. An orthotic should be a temporary decision, a temporary treatment. If you have things like plantar fasciitis or Achilles pain, an orthotic can work great and it's perfect in that situation. You just don't want to keep it that way. Let the foot do what it's designed to do. But here's the crazy part. A lot of runners will get an orthotic and they will get a shoe that has increased stability on the inner part of the shoe called a motion control shoe or a stability shoe where the foam density on the inside of the shoe is much higher, and they combine both of them. Now they've made it so you have no pronation. But you've just reduced or taken away a key part of taking away loading forces on your body. So now it goes somewhere else. You've solved one problem to create another one. But what's the better solution? If you do have overpronation, how do you actually make that better? Well, you have muscles that help control the arch of your foot. Muscles that run along the inside part of your shin called your posterior tibialis, or muscles in the foot itself that help control the bones of the foot. Those are your intrinsic muscles of the foot. Those can be built up. Those can be strengthened. Your shin muscle on the front part of your shin also helps to control your arch. But my guess is you're not working those. My guess is you haven't taken the time to strengthen those before going the orthotic route or before going the new shoe route. Again, orthotics and shoes be great temporary, but what's the long-term fix? How do we solve the root cause of the problem? Well, if you overpronate, we don't want to reduce pronation entirely, we just want to decrease it some. We don't want to pronate as much. And strengthening makes a big difference and is the key first piece. The other piece is improving your running biomechanics, making it so that your hip muscles, your glutes, and your quad, and your hamstring, and your calf, those big old muscles that runners use when they run, why don't we work those? Why don't we get those stronger, get those in better positions, get your body more aligned for running? That will also remove pressure from the foot and make it so you don't pronate as much. And the long-term side effect, positive side effect, is you have better running economy, you lose less energy, you get injured less, you run faster, running feels better. Win, 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 win. Where the side effects of using an orthotic or a motion control shoe is you're going to get an issue somewhere else over time. You're going to rob Peter to pay Paul. You're going to take away something and just put the force somewhere else. So the villain of pronation, let's vindicate pronation a little bit here and say that pronation is a good thing. You should pronate when you run. You just shouldn't over pronate. And if you're questioning whether you over pronate and you pronate too much, go see a running specialist. Talk to your local physio. Go to someone that specializes in biomechanics. They will be able to tell you. And you may be able to get rid of the orthotic. You may be able to wear a shoe that's more comfortable for you, that isn't controlling too much of your pronation. There is an answer to that. Not everybody needs to be in a motion control shoe or a stability shoe, which for all you runners that loves to buy shoes, now you have more options of shoes to buy since you don't need the special ones that control pronation. So when we use orthotics and motion control shoes, many studies will show your injury rate goes up. Let's get rid of that. Let's use your body's natural defenses, your natural shock absorbers, the muscles on the inside part of your shin and your foot and your calf. Let's strengthen the muscles like your glute, quad, and calf that help you with running. Let's improve your running biomechanics. All those things will give you much better long-term solutions than just an orthotic and shoes. So again, pronation good, over pronation bad. Don't make a snap judgment off of one finding. That's my soapbox. That's my help for all of you that may be using too much stuff underneath your foot. Let the foot do its job. It is a awesome structure designed to load force. Let it do it. Your body will thank you. You have much less injuries, and you're probably going to enjoy running a whole lot more, and you're going to be able to buy some super cool shoes that aren't the motion control or stability shoes. All right, that is it for today, guys. Hey, if you like this video, if you found some insights from it and it was an aha moment for you, something different, drop a comment below and let me know you got value out of this video. That would mean the world to me. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get more of my videos, guys. And until next time, train smarter and perform better.